Hello everyone and welcome back. So, at the end of the last episode, I had, my legendary mason had been murdered by the vampire. And I was pretty mad about it. Not just because he was my legendary mason, but also because he was one of the first 7 dwarves to found this fortress. And, you know, that's just not cool. So what I'm going to do right now is, well, in the video that I actually first revealed that the vampire was stalking our halls, I started having a conversation with someone about what to do with the vampire and like how to find him, and they gave me some pretty good pointers. And then using those and the wiki at the same time, because for whatever reason I didn't even think to look at the wiki for information on vampires until after that conversation with that person. So I do thank you for that. But some of the things I found on the website, like here, I'm just going to give you a brief rundown of the what the wiki recommends looking for, and a few things you can use to spot a vampire in your fortress if you have one is historical background, how many relatives they have, descriptors, like odd descriptors in their on their information page, like if it says they look like they might be X age, that may or may not be an indicator. They also have high social skills, because I mean that makes sense for vampire lore, because they're supposed to be, you know, crafty and I guess what's the word I'm looking for? Very suave, very easy to persuade people, because I mean they wouldn't be alive for very long if they were bad at hiding who they were. Also, they do not eat, sleep, or drink, because since being turned into a vampire, they are they no longer have needs of regular mortals. So things you want to look for are a long historical background, like if they've belonged to many different societies, if they have a bunch of relatives who are not at the fortress, but specifically, like here, let me show you what I'm talking about. So we're just going to go ahead and go to this very first guy at the top. This is just the first line. We want to do view creature, and then we hit enter to go to this page. So as you can see at the top, you're going to be looking for information in this section, the blue section, no, not the blue section, I'm sorry, yeah, well, yeah, the blue section right here. Not so much, well, yeah, kind of this one, but then also a really good indicator is since, something the wiki recommended looking for, and the way I actually found my vampire, is since dwarves do not eat, sleep, or drink, they're not going to have any thoughts of food, drink, beds, or chairs. So, like here when it says, she had a fine drink lately, she slept in a very good bedroom, she had, those are not going to be there, because they don't, you know, eat or sleep. Also, this one right here is, you know, she is a citizen of the Sunken Pages, she is a member of the Mayor of Clashes. Like, she's only been to 2 civilizations. Oh no, that's just one. That's my city. No, that's our civ. That's our civ, and that's our city, I think. And then, but really, what you want to look for is if like this might not show up if they are a fresh vampire, but if they are an older vampire, where it says here she needs alcohol to get through the working day, it's going to have some indicator of like that they have been without alcohol for a long time, and that is actually how I found my vampire. And then ways to confirm it. There's apparently 2 different ways you can really good ways to confirm it. One of them is a bug, and the other one is, well, and they might actually both be bugs, but one of them is if you find someone who is a suspected vampire, you can go into relationships and see if they have a deity that they worship, and then you just go to view that deity. That one doesn't. Okay, no, neither of those are good examples. Let's go ahead and go to this guy. Okay, so you see this is an older deity, and it has things that says, you know, they curse the dwarf vampire, and it has their name. Well, since vampires are notorious liars, they're not going to use their true name. But for whatever reason, if you apply a nickname to someone and they are a historical figure, the game applies that nickname retroactively to the history of the world. And for whatever reason, when you apply a nickname to a vampire, it applies it to their true name and not their... I mean, it'll still show up in your fortress. So, like, if I nickname my vampire... If this particular dwarf was a vampire and I nicknamed him Bob, then it would go back and say... Like, let's say this was this vampire's true name. Then this would change from Aiden to Bob, retroactively. So that's a way you can confirm it. And I actually use this method to confirm my vampire. The bug that I was talking about is apparently a lot of times the vampire's profession, like you can nickname them, you can give them nicknames for their profession, and a lot of times the vampire's profession name will not change. Does that sound familiar? You guys know who my see, I didn't know that when it first happened, but you guys know who my vampire is? For those of you who've been watching and paying attention, see, like, it didn't even really dawn on me until after I found him. I found my vampire, and I was like, so I was really, really mad. For you, if you haven't figured it out yet, it's my mayor. This guy right here. Bimble, the lion douche. Like, I cannot describe how mad I was when I found out that my mayor was my vampire. Like, I was just, cause, like, the baby, whatever. Like I said before, I can totally condone baby dwarves getting murdered, because they're useless. I don't care about them. But one of my first 7 and my legendary mason, inexcusable. And then you lie your way into the hearts of my dwarves and get elected our first mayor? Is bull. Is bull. So anyway, so just to kind of show you exactly what I was talking about. So here's you know, Bimbo. And we're going to go to view. So as you can see, he admired a fine statue. He was pleased to have a mandate deadline met. But there's nothing up here at all about eating, sleeping, or drinking, because he doesn't do those things. And as you can see here, the blue history list is long. You know, and it's all former member of this place, former member of that place, just former member, like several, all of these are former members. So he's been around. And then all this is just lies. And then here it says he needs alcohol to get through the working day. He is starting to work slowly due to its scarcity. There's no scarcity. Like if we go to my other dwarves, like we'll just pick random ones. We go view. No one else has that. He needs alcohol to get through the working day, and then it goes on to say other things. And then if we go to our stock screen, you can see we have 160 drinks, and that's alcohol. So there's no scarcity of alcohol. That is our vampire. Something else, if we go to back to view dwarf and go to relationships, it's just like, look at this. Like, he has a wife, but she's not here. He has a son, a daughter, a mother, a father, grandmothers, grandfathers, younger brothers, younger sisters. None of them are here. Aunts, uncles, lots of uncles, lots of nieces, lots of nephews. None of them are here. So either these are real people who he's just picking at random, or they're all alive. Like, look at this. Like, let's count how many pages of people, of relatives he has. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 pages. Alright, and then as one final piece of proof, we're going to go ahead and do customize, nickname, and we'll just call this guy Red Rum. Why not? Alright, so then we go to relationships. We go back down to this guy, click on view. And as we can see, this is an old god, and right here on the first page, Curse the Dwarf Vampire, Red Rum. So yeah, that's our guy. Yeah, so let's go ahead and go back to customize and put this back to normal. So yeah, so like I said, he's gonna get locked in a tiny room and left there to rot. One of the things that I don't really think is, I think that they should probably change, is the dwarf. Like, apparently there's ways to exploit a vampire dwarf. You can make them basically a no-fail, like a safety switch. I guess. I'm not really articulating that properly. But what you can do is if you lock them in a tiny room and leave them there, they will never die, even without access to blood, which I don't think is fair. I think that's something that should be fixed, because if, you know, they are this superhuman thing that's really hard to kill, and, you know, I mean, like, they should have to get blood on a regular... I mean, if they're going to be killing your dwarves by drinking their blood, there should at least be a reason for it. You know? Like, there should be... It should be because they need the blood to survive, not just because, oh, vampires drink blood and that's what they do. Like, it should be if he doesn't get blood for a certain amount of time, they should eventually die. But you know what, whatever, that's just nitpicking. But so apparently you can lock them in a tiny room and leave them there, and they won't eat, drink, or sleep, and they don't need to drink blood. And they'll stay there. So if you accidentally kill off all of your dwarves, you'll just have the one vampire dwarf. And since he's still technically a dwarf and a member of your fortress and not a creature, your fort is actually still going even with just the one dwarf. So then you can just sit there and wait for a new migrant wave to show up. And so it's kind of a way to cheat, which I don't really want to do. As I'm going to kill this guy as soon as I have the opportunity to. He's going to be executed in a very grandiose manner, and it'll be awesome. It probably won't be for a season or 2 or 3. Like, basically, once I find lava, then he's gone. But for now, I just got to get him away from my populace, because I can't have him eating people. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that exile room set up, and then I'll be back. All right, everyone. So it took me a little bit. As you can see, the merchants have left. Well, it didn't really take me too long. It was more of just a matter of the doors being stupid. But his temporary holding cell is just up here. As you can see, there he is. Bimpu, you'll never eat another dwarf, my friend. Oh no. No, no, no. You're gonna spend the rest of your days locked in this tiny cell until I get my awesome magma execution chamber set up. And then you're gonna burn to death. And it'll be amazing. Or I might even just put you in a... Like, once you're no longer the male, I might even just put you in your own squad and give you no equipment and send you out to fight the next goblin invasion. I don't know yet. I'm gonna get creative, but it's gonna be great. Yeah, you're gonna pay back to society one way or the other. Actually, I kind of like that you in a squad by yourself thing. That sounds pretty bitchin'. I'm gonna do that. You in a squad by yourself with no equipment. You're gonna barehand fight the next goblins that show up. Yeah, that's happening. That's happening. It's gonna be great. So awesome. I can't wait to see you do it. And if you survive, I'll just keep doing it till you die. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna set up a little room right here. You're just gonna stay in that chamber until until it's set up and you're no longer the mayor. That's what we're doing. I know I keep emphasizing that that's what we're doing, but it's gonna be, yeah, we're gonna do that. So anyway, now that little problem is taken care of, hopefully no one else has been murdered since then. And, hopefully we don't have another vampire that snuck in. Although that would be kind of cool. So yeah. So from now on, my punishment for all vampires to sneak into my fortress are going to be to get put into a vampire squad with no equipment. And they're going to defend our fortress to the death. They want to eat people, they're going to fight for that right. But again, they're going to do it with no armor, no weapons, just their bare vampire-handedness. I don't expect them to survive very long, or at least I hope they don't. But, yeah. So, it is still early autumn. As you can see, we're not even out of limestone yet. And that should be it for now. I'm just going to keep doing, trying to think if there's anything else that I need to update you on. I don't think so. I'm going to do some minor improvements to my my sewer system. Specifically, I'm going to put a floodgate right here so I can cut it off at the source and not have all this water ready to go. I might put in some secondary drainage, but I don't know for sure yet. Actually, yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put in some secondary drainage, like some other way to get the water out of this area. Can't really think of anything else. Oh, I got all my stockpiles rearranged. As you can see, this is my bar stockpile. So for all of the metal bars and the charcoal and the ash and all those things, it's all gonna go right here. The soap, all right here. This is where all my wood's gonna go from now on. This is, what is this one? Ammo, weapons, and armor. So my military. This one is animals, animals in cages. Thank you, Windows, for interrupting my recording with new updates. This one right here is going to be just my general stockpile. As you can see, it's finished goods and coins. And finished goods take up the most, I believe finished goods take up the most space. You know, because they have all of these things. Although that I'm probably wrong about that. This is furniture and siege ammo. I don't expect to have a lot of furniture on hand. I might have to make this bigger because of all those pots. This is my cloth and leather, and then this is my gems. And I think that's it. Obviously, this is still my food. But yeah, so that should be it for now. I will be back once something happens. Hey everyone, so real quick, I just kind of wanted to describe, I've been messing around with the military screen for a little bit, and I just kind of wanted to show off some things, really correct some things that I was talking about before in an earlier video when I was talking about the military. So before I was saying that when you make the military, whatever uniform they have, you know, they're stuck with. And, you know, in order to change it, like if you go back into equipped, like if we go up here to the Palisades, you know, like, I was originally under the impression that you'd have to go in and, like, let's say I wanted to change this, like I'd have to go and, like, delete each one and then assign them new stuff. And, you know, like I said, I've been messing around with it, and that is not true. For whatever reason, I never saw this right here where it says assign uniforms. And after you've already made the squad, you can go in and just click on, you know, Shift U, and it takes you to your list of uniforms, and you can change either for individual people, or you can just do Shift Enter and change it for your whole squad. As you can also see, these are not the original uniforms that were on there before. I've gone in and changed them, just to kind of give you a brief overview. Training is basically the original leather armor, just I added some cloaks and I removed the weapon. I'm probably not ever going to use this one. I'm not even really sure why I set it up like this. Brute Squad is an extremely modified version of the metal armor. As you can see, like I always add leather cloaks because leather cloak provides almost full body coverage. But you can see I have two different types of chest pieces: the mail shirt and the breastplates, the helm, and then the hood. The hood isn't really armor, but it does provide full covering, so it's just an extra thing to help prevent attacks. I have greaves and gloves, which again, same basic principle. I'm sorry, no. Greaves go on your legs, gloves go on your hands. I'm sorry, I have gloves and gauntlets. And then low boots, and then the shield is just, you know, shield and then still individual choice melee. I have them all set up like this because it is, in my mind, I might add a few more things, but in my mind this adds the most amount of full body coverage for, you know, without too greatly over encumbering them while they still have low armor skill. The archer is just basically the leather version of the Brute Squad. Like it has, you know, same thing, cloaks, leather armor. This has to be mail shirt because mail shirts only come in metal, so that's unavoidable. It has to be mail shirts. have caps and helms, although I might take... I'm probably going to take off caps. Actually, let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and take off caps. Because that's just way too much. Because caps are just lesser versions of helms. And, you know, with the helms and the hoods, we should be okay. You know, leggings, gloves, low boots, and bucklers and crossbows. Now, they only have gloves because gauntlets only come in metal. Although I might add those anyway, just for the extra protection on their fingers, or fingers and hands. And then, of course, we have come to Vampire, which obviously has no items at all. Because, like I said before, any vampire that gets caught in my fortress gets sent out unarmed. You know? So, should be interesting. I think there was something else I wanted to talk about with the uniforms. Wrong button. Oh yeah, one other thing. So, I was under the impression that the easiest way to, like, I always thought this was really tedious, but, like, the way I used to check to see what my guys, because, as you can see, like, it shows here that they have, this guy has, or thinks he has, his full set of equipment. That's what all these little weapon rack things mean. But I do not have even one full set of steel equipment. So, I used to think it was really tedious having to check because I have to try to, because the way I would do it is I would find the squad and I would do VI for, you know, view inventory, and I'd go through and try to find each individual member and see what they were equipped with, and it was very, very tedious, and I was just like, you know, like I used to just be like, whatever, they'll have it, I don't care. But again, you know, messing around with the military screen, I found this, capital P. And it shows the position you're looking at and their assignment. So, like, what equipment they're supposed to have. And what it'll show you is what equipment they have on them. So this is much easier. You just go in and you go to your position. Basically, you can look at the entire squad and see what all of their equipment is. So you can see who you still have left to upgrade, and, like, if you have to force them to wear a specific piece of equipment, which you can do. Like, let's just go to the Palisades real quick. And if we go back to view, customize, and equipment, let's say we go to, or we'll just do it for the militia commander right here. We just go to armor. You can click on specific armor, and it'll take you to a list of all the armor that you have, and you can go through and find one specifically that you want him to wear. So, let's say I wanted him to wear this, then I would just click on it, and it would add it to... apparently he's already wearing it. But we don't want him to wear that, so we'll go ahead and remove it. But, yeah. That's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. So, you know, it just some new things that I discovered messing around with the game. Or not, I shouldn't say discovered. Just the new things that I learned for myself messing around with the game. Like, I didn't read it on the way. Like, I don't know why I never saw them before. Because, like, I've just never really noticed the assign uniforms and the assignments button. I just never really looked at them. So yeah. There's something else that's interesting too. Okay. Okay. So, as I'm doing the recording, I see other things. So I was reading on the wiki itself, and, like, back before when I was figuring out exactly how I wanted to set these guys up, like what I could use to, like how much equipment I could actually put on them. I saw something about making sure that they, like, see here this says over clothing. That means that whatever they're already wearing, they're going to put their uniform on over that. So if they're wearing too many regular clothes and then they try to put on their uniform, they won't be able to wear it exactly. So you want to set it to replace clothing, so they take off their regular clothes and then put on their uniform. Okay, so that makes a lot more sense. And then right here where it says partial matches, that's why my guys are wearing iron and in some cases bronze gear instead of steel, because I don't have full sets of steel, because it's set to partial matches. But if I go to exact matches, then they will only wear this equipment, which would be good for if I once I have enough. Once I actually have enough clothes, once I actually have enough armor to make that feasible. But for now, this is fine. I'm probably going to go back through and just assign them a full set of clothes and have them remove or replace clothing. But yeah. So that should be it for now. That's all I really want to talk about. I might do. Yeah, yeah, that's all I'll talk about for now. So I'll come back once the season changes or something happens.